Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Bike over here. Yes, Toxic Talk. Today I'm gonna have early morning start today. So yeah, but everything is okay. Everything is good. Everything is good. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, just going to talk about the fall of the US dollar and the rise of other nations in the East. So, those countries basically, they are making their own coalition to protect themselves, to have an alternative currency or an alternative way to transact, because they don't know when the US can become hostile to their country. So, and this is understandable, right? Because in a world where everything is basically you're not sure when the decision gonna make, who's gonna change their mind, to start a trade war. We're gonna start like sanctioning people. Makes sense that you have countries want to, have their own way to do commerce. So, is that gonna be the end of the US dollar? In my opinion, not right now. At least not right now. Not anytime soon. But it's gonna reduce the demand for the dollar, because it's gonna have competition now, right? Because before you didn't have any competition. You could do whatever you want. But right now there's a competition. When the US gonna sanction a country, it's gonna think twice about its decision, because if it does, there's another way now. There's gonna be another way for these countries, where they can go. So that's the other strategy. That's the other thing, right? So yes, like, is that gonna be the end of the US dollar? No. But your money denominated in USD gonna worth less. So whatever you have in the bank, USD is gonna worth less. As you know, the Canadian dollar is correlated to USD because most of the trade between Canada and US, it's done. So most of the Canadian trade is done between Canada and US. Those countries are very close, and most the trucks, all the transfer over there is done between Canada and US. So I consider Canada basically as part of US in some way. I'm not talking about nationally, but if you, in terms of commerce and trade and transactions, they are, really extremely correlated. Right? So US has a lot of influence in Canada. Canada is only big on land only. They only have a lot of land, a lot of energy, a lot of stuff, but they are extremely influenced by the US. So the Canadian currency, if the US dollar fall, the Canadian currency will fall ultimately, at least in the short term, until they speed up their game to start exploring their energy as well, because they have a lot of energy. So they could speed up their game to extract those energy, to put them in good use for commerce and to sell them and stuff like that, right? Because otherwise you have a very difficult situation in your hands. So yes, you have all these things happening, and so for those of you basically who have hoping to retire on these currencies, you have all those things going on, then I would be concerned, right? I wouldn't say worried too much, but I would be extremely concerned. I would be concerning on what is going on, what is up, because if those currencies fall, you're probably gonna have your $1,000 a month for your retirement. You're still gonna have that, even $2,000 a month. But by the time you retire, what this $2,000 gonna do for you? Right? Even let's say you save up, because your retirement is denominated in the currency you are, right? So your retirement is denominated in that currency. So let's say your retirement, right, goes, I don't know, let's say you take another 10 to 20 years to retire, or maybe 40 years to retire, right? So your retirement is still underwater, because even in 10 years, I can't see those currencies maintain their value, really, even relatively strong. It's not gonna happen, because there's gonna be less demand for these currencies. There's gonna be less transaction in them, and there's a rise of Bitcoin, which is the new competitor, because you never had Bitcoin before in these situations, and Bitcoin is starving for energy, right? That's the thing about Bitcoin. I like about Bitcoin, because it doesn't care, right? You can live in US, in China, in UAE, in Russia, everywhere. It doesn't care where it goes. It can live everywhere. So you holding a currency that's being used everywhere in the world as money. So that's what Bitcoin is, and it's starving for energy. Whoever want to sell the network energy can just spin up a S9 or maybe S19 and sell the energy to the network. So whoever want to. So it's extremely fluid and extremely flexible. So that's the thing about Bitcoin, and I think most people are not paying attention to, right? So yes, with gold, you could just mine gold and all those things with gold, but when you're done, how can you transact $1 million of gold from one country to another country? It's hard, right? How can you bring that with you? How can you, all those things? You can't even, most people don't understand. You cannot even transact $10,000 of gold. You cannot $10,000 of anything, right? With you. You cannot take that with you on the airplane. They're gonna, require you to do all those things to approve you with that money, because it's too much money. It's $10,000 only. I can't tell. I'm not, gonna tell you about 100,000, right? So 100,000 is gonna be even worse, right? So it's important to understand that, because it's hard, because if you cannot, and also $10,000, let's say in your country, right? $10,000, by the time this currency is inflating, it's probably gonna worth $100, right? So your $10,000 is $100, you're screwed, right? So like that that means it worth $100 now. So how do you gonna bring $100 with you? It's people are not taking deep enough. So anyways, you need $100 to anywhere you go, even one day. This is not gonna sustain you for even one day in some places. So because you need to pay for for where you sleep and all those things, so the choice is gonna be diminished exponentially, right? So anyways, I'm just a crazy toxic talker on the internet, and I'm just yeah, I'm not trying to worry about what I cannot control. I don't care. Whatever they do, everything is good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is gonna go wherever it needed. It's gonna be in Iceland. It's gonna be in Canada. It's gonna be in US. It's gonna be in China. It's gonna be in every other country. It's like they're gonna mine it. They're gonna work for it. They're gonna do all these things for it because it's valuable. It's powerful. It's a technology. That's the other part they don't understand about Bitcoin as well. It's technology, okay? Technology, because it makes things easy. So, like you open a Lightning wallet and I, zap you some sites. It's happening just like that, man. So you can open, log in a website with your Lightning wallet. Those are all the things. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna see you in the next Toxic Talk. This was Bike Over.